I stand firmly in the fact that I'm one of the best to ever do this. For the culture, for my coast, and for my city. This is the Best Rapper in LA podcast. And I'm your host, Murs. What up, though? All right, episode 21. I don't know when this is dropping. Hopefully the world is still in one piece. That's what I hate about getting too far ahead, but when you get four boys, you kind of got to do it when you can. Get it in. I'm going to start with BTS.
I work hard for my money, so hard for the money. Every time I get a little, I go spend it like a dummy. If my money was an NBA team and I was Dean, head coach of the squad, I'd be Jeff Van Gundy. Wasting all of my funding, my wallet stays hungry. Mad like Pooh with the pot and no honey. Money wouldn't be funny if I stuck to my budget, but my motto is fuck it. Buy now, cry later, hoping that everything works out in my favor. I keep my receipts, should I seek a release from this contract to commerce? Speaking of which, I'm the most at ease when I spit in my grip.
This was a special song to me because it was, I believe, the first solo Sunspot track I got. Mystic Journeyman is one of my favorite rap groups. One of the most important rap groups in my life. Two men who really did a lot for me at a time when I needed, gave me a opportunity, huge opportunities. But whatever the reason, I wasn't dope enough. We didn't have time, whatever. Sunspot gave me a beat early on for Full Metal Murs, a song that never got done, will never get done, but it was an idea. But that was my one beat that he gave me, and I never put it out, so maybe that's why he never gave me another beat. But when I got an album, the main producer from Living Legends I wanted on it was Sunspot. If I can criticize anything over the years, is about Living Legends looking outward for production when I believe Eli Grouch, Sunspot, Picasso are enough to make an album dope. I don't think we need any. And occasional, it's funny because the song after this is produced by Ant and Sunspot's doing the hook and Ant. I feel like that those Living Legends out, we don't need Madlib, we don't need Ninth Wonder, we don't need anyone. But that's just my 2 cents. Not that we don't do dope over other people's beats, but I always thought we should just keep it in the circle because we have dope producers in-house. But yeah, you could look at These Hands, and getting Grouch to do a beat for These Hands is impossible. Not, you can see also it's not a beef thing. It just is what it is. Man, oh man of La Mancha. All right. That's a line from a movie called Snow Day.
With last night's record snowfall taking everyone by surprise, it seems the entire area has ground to a halt. Roads are blocked, businesses are shut down, and listen carefully, schools are officially closed for a snow day.
Which LP ridiculed me for years or made fun of me. Inside joke, because I kept it. That's one of my favorite movies. I kept it on DVD. He looked through my DVDs and be like, what in the fuck? And then he ended up doing, I think it's, forget the name of the graffiti movie, but the star of Snow Day is the guy who made that film. And so he called me like, yo, you'll never believe who I'm working with and doing this scoring this film for.
A graffiti writer never expects to get caught, just like a cop never expects to get shot.
He's like, he doesn't believe that. I think he told him that he doesn't believe that you are a huge fan. Still, I don't believe that. I haven't seen the remake. And that's me and L differ a lot of things. Like L thinks that they're screwing with our childhood. They're exploiting our childhood and toying with our nostalgia for profit. These corporations with the Star Wars and all the remakes. I'm cool with all of it. Give it to me. Like a big BTS, I'm gonna buy that shit. Snow Day is where I draw the line. I have not seen a Snow Day remake. I will not. I don't think I can, bro. That movie means too much to me. And yes, I was too old to be such a huge fan of a Nickelodeon film. That's neither here nor there. I don't receive your judgment. BTS, Crew started by T.S. Tom Slick from the Log Cabin.
I am not to be toyed with, boy. My strategy is decoyed with a friendly hand extended towards the enemy. Inner energy glows red. The masked wolf has some abracadabra, cadaver stacked in my shed. No how to keep your body, hands bent, feeding voice. This is for my log stockade, my cabin boys, and all affiliates color plates to the rifle shots from across west and east. There will be no peace till the masked wolf fleets of a masterpiece. Dissect anatomies of a masked wolf and fleet. Supreme strategy of a masterpiece. Dissect anatomies of a masked wolf and fleet. Supreme strategy of a masterpiece.
One of my favorite rappers. We talked about Tajay and like me admiring his fashion sense. This T.S. Tom Slick was the coolest motherfucker I had ever met. Him or Log Cabin in general, but Universals, Radio Inactive, Malik and Tom Slick, T.S. and Malik. We talk about my dreads now are the style that Malik used to wear in high school. I thought he was the coolest dude, and him and Jeremy were the coolest. Him and T.S. were the coolest dudes. Jeremy had a car, a Blue Nova. What was so cool about it? Of course, I'm a kid. He had been to jail. He was cool. He could fight. He was cool. He may have had a burner back then. Like all the things, like he had all the newest pagers. Cute girls liked him. He's like mixed kid, definitely white presenting, but mixed kid. He lived in the hood. His mom was amazing. He had Sega CD. He had Samurai Showdown. He had Toe Jam and Earl. He had great weed. He had the box, the video music box. He would let me call and request videos, and then we would put, when Running by Farside came out and Goody Mob Cell Therapy, I just put the speaker of the tape deck to the TV speaker and recorded the song. That's how I listened to those songs.
Check it out. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Check this out. Check this out. Check this out. Yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Check this out. Check this out. Check this out.
We could go to his house and he had the Raekwon CD with the bonus track because I didn't have a CD player.
That it be the Wu-Tang production. Start to knuckle up it. Gunshots start to click, the blocks ducking. Could it be and would it be that we was babies catching rabies? Niggas seem to act crazy. Day one in my spot, July the 10th, I had a minute.
He used to work at the Beverly Center. These are all things that made him extremely cool. He gave me the halftime speech. Because as soon as I got money, I went to Beat Nonstop for the first Log Cabin show and I purchased an Echo Unlimited t-shirt. When it was ECKO Unlimited, and it came with the cassette. I believe the t-shirt at that time was $25, which was expensive as fuck. BTS, $24.99. I got my tape. It was a Lyricist Lounge tape. Shout out to Mark Echo.
Trice. Yeah. I'm with Backdoor Productions, no discussion. Old Trice be the sound that's rushing your eardrums. Pump it up if you feeling them. This is hip-hop, pure adrenaline. I'm a winner, I step on the scene.
I was such a fan of him. Like he couldn't afford full page ads in the source. He had a little like third of a page column of an ad. And I saw the art and it said it came with the Lyricist Lounge tape. I said, oh my fucking God. I need to buy this brand. I'm sorry, ECH, not EKO, and it's ECH, because the CK is when I stopped wearing it, of course. The ECHO, Echo Unlimited. I remember there was the ASR, the Action Sports Trade Show, and they had the 432 SF or 432 F Street thing for clothing. I was an intern in a magazine. I was 15 years old. At the back of the Action Sports Show, walking the floor, I found Mark Echo's booth. He had a booth. We had like 2 or 3 t-shirts on the wall and the tapes. I thought he was seeing Mark Echo in real life. I was like, oh my God. It was a moment. And he had, like I said, he had 3 t-shirts out. So when I got money, I bought this shirt for our first show so I could look fresh on stage. And TS gives a speech because last week talked about me battling people and wanting to kill me and beat me up. That had happened again, and someone was going to show up to the show and they were going to shoot us and kill us on stage, and I'm scared as fuck. And TS is like, everybody's quiet and sullen backstage, and he's like, grabs the mic and starts going on stage. Well, if I die, at least I'm going to die with a mic in my hand.
Man, I plan to die with a mic in my hand. It's like bending all hope, y'all. Bending all hope.
But I was like, yes. Because I had on my new thrift store. I got these Army surplus thrift store pants that were like $20. And I have a $45 outfit on and the $100 Timberlands. I don't know how I flipped that. I don't remember if I bought them or stole them. I don't remember. But I was dipped. I was like, oh my God, I got a fucking haircut. I got an Echo Unlimited shirt on. I got some fucking Army surplus fatigue pants on. I feel like I'm in the boot camp clique. I'm with my clique. We're going to rap and we might die, but it's okay because I'm dying with the mic in my hand. Hip hop, I'm 16 years old. Maybe 17, but I think I'm 16 years old. But he gives me that speech. He started a crew, BTS. He was teaching me how to write. He did a whole alphabet for me. So I could copy his hand style. He was a great visual artist. I forgot about the amazing visual artist. He's done multiple covers. He did the current cover of Good Music. He did that. Just tremendous talent, great human being. He started, our graffiti crew was going to be BTS, Big Time Swamis. Him and Eli can draw like nobody's business. Their visual art is amazing. I was just along for the ride. We smoked beaties a lot. He loved beaties, and he had a car to go get beaties, and he knew all the beatie spots in LA to buy beaties, and he was old enough. When I got sweated, he could always get us beaties. And when it came to Log Cabin, it was me, him, and I think Radio and Active that the only ones gainfully employed or me hustling enough to put in money for these sessions. If anyone ever wonders what happened to Log Cabin, that's what happened. The French guy we were recording with wasn't getting his money, so he kept all the masters. The album never came out. There's not a Log Cabin album out. We never put it out. I had marketing ideas. I helped pay for the stickers. I helped establish a hotline for us, all that, because I was like more A&R than I was a rapper. I was not the best rapper in Log Cabin, not the best rapper in Living Legends, but I had ideas about marketing. BTS, Big Time Spenders, Big Time Swamis, buy that shit, better tell somebody. That's how it started. And then we were always into fly shit, and different shit. Like he was into drum and bass. We got into grime together. He became my DJ. We would go shopping. We getting good, like salvage denim. Like he taught me about denim and, he had one of the big art books. Like he was into the finer things in life. PG Tips, imported black tea, American Spirit cigarettes, vintage cars. He rebuilt a Mustang. Like he's a guy. He's the coolest guy. One of the coolest guys I ever met in my life. One of my favorite rappers. So we started this crew and just, fuck it. Buy that shit. First verse, I talk about something in the state of commerce. Speaking of which, I thought that was clever. I still think that's clever. Commerce. Speaking of which, I'm the most at ease when I'm spinning my grip. Booyah, poom pow, surprise.
I keep my receipts, should I seek a release from this contract of commerce? Speaking of which, I'm the most at ease when I spit in my grip. But don't trip, I'm a retail slut, stimulating the economy so I can get fucked. When I go out shopping, I go for broke, I mean literally. There is no hope, cause I'm a big time spender, let me buy that shit. Put it in the bag soon as I eye that shit. My pocket's so broke about to cry and shit. But do you think I care? It comes slow and goes fast. I'm a big time spender, let me buy that shit. Put it in the bag soon as I eye that shit. My pocket's so broke about to cry and shit. But do you think
the chorus, I finally got to incorporate some E40 influence. Put it in a bag. Never mind how much it costs. Put it in a bag. That's from a song called Trump Change. On the Element of Surprise, which is still probably one of my favorite albums.
Guzzle, sip, guzzle, non-stop. More candy than seeds, croquettes, flambeaus, and brag. Go on shopping sprees and act bad. Never mind how much it costs, put it in the bag. Bought a brand new Jag without looking at the price tag. $32 North Star with the blue out brag.
The best double album ever made in hip-hop history, and you know how much I love Tupac, with Element of Surprise, best double album ever made in hip-hop history. Sorry Wu-Tang, sorry Tupac, sorry Biggie. I love and respect all of you, but that's the top 5. Oh, but Element of Surprise. So I've been playing that for years, and to incorporate Trump Change, he says that on there, so I was like, cool. Second verse, April 23rd, 2002. Around midnight, where were you?
23rd, 2002, around midnight. Where were you? Me, I was out for them episode 2 Star Wars action figures.
Wait, back up, my nigga. You can't mean toys.
Hell yeah, fool, me and 100 white boys. We was waiting in line, some buy to collect, some to sell online.
Man, hold up, you can't rhyme line with line.
Man, that's not the point. I spent 200 plus before I even left the joint. If my mama only knew I was out dropping notes when I owe her a few, my ass would be through. You wouldn't be hearing this song today. Can you say buyer's remorse? Now I'm praying that my CD's selling out in the stores, cause I hate being poor. I may have dropped a couple hundred, but I'm one with the force. And I'm a big time spender, let me buy that shit.
I was lined up in Tucson, outside of Toys R Us, waiting to buy toys from the worst up until The Last Jedi Star Wars movie ever made. And I haven't rewatched them to decide, but I am still very mad about episode 8, so I can't even try to watch it again. It's the only Star Wars movie that I haven't seen twice because it angers me to it. The Star nerds are irrational. And being that I have this violent, aggressive streak, my nerd, irrational anger mixed with my inner fake Crip anger doesn't like, I've said outlandish things about the man who directed that film. I don't need to be that angry about anything that is not actually affecting my day-to-day life, so I don't watch it. I treat it the same way. Like, I've never seen The Color Purple. I can't watch Roots. I get angry about things, and it affects me for days. And it's just not a good place for me to be, because real things can happen and then I can go off. That's happening where I'm mad about something completely not real, but very angry, and then something else happens, and that, you know, and I have kids, and I can't be walking around angry about Star Wars, but I will get mad inside of my physical frame watching episode 8.
Something inside me has always been there. But now it's awake. And I need help.
So I've only seen it once. I'm going to have to watch it at some point. One of my children may be afflicted with the Star Wars gene. I think we have at least one. And we'll watch it, and hopefully by then I'm 60 and I'm a little more calm. But oh man, being in line for those toys, not knowing the shit show that episode 2 is about to be. Excited because I know there's some type of African-American something involved in Jar Jar Binks, so I'm trying to stay faithful. Shout out to Ahmed Best and all that he had to endure unjustly because of that character.
Missa called Jar Jar Binks. Missa, your humble servant.
That won't be necessary.
Oh, but it is. 'Tis demanded by the gods, it is. It's embarrassing. But, my friend might have been banished.
We just thought we were getting, like, we had got the kid shit out of the way. Like, we're getting Anakin. Like, this shit is about to be fire. Okay? I can't describe to you a bunch of Gen Xers waiting, Gen X nerds waiting for episode 2. Like, we thought that pod racing was the worst that could happen. We foolishly thought that was the worst that could happen. Oh, were we ever wrong? But oh, did I have rap money and buy every fucking thing? They had these little, I forgot what they called, some type of chips, and every chip had a player, and oh man, and they had like toys for characters that we thought were about to be huge and didn't even really play a part in episode 2. Oh man, I wish I could remember. I had battle droids. I had all the vehicles. I bought one of everything. They opened the door and motherfuckers went crazy, but I had rap money. So I was copping everything. I had no limit. I was a no limit soldier. I was the colonel of the motherfucking tank. King of nerds. If I could go back now. Oh, that's what it was. Mace fucking Windu at the shrine where the LA comic book convention used to take place. I paid an obscene amount of money for the small box figure. I hope I still have it. The first Mace Windu, actually, the first rendition of Mace Windu ever in plastic. I had that. Motherfucker, that was it.
Master Windu, how pleasant of you to join us.
This party's over.
Brave, but foolish, my old Jedi friend. You're impossibly outnumbered.
I don't think so.
I didn't need to focus on the romance of Anakin and Padme. I needed that. But this is how God works. The costumes are amazing. The costumes was my wife's interest when they had if you haven't seen a Star Wars costume exhibit as it tours art galleries or whatever it does, go see it. If you have a woman in your life that's into fashion or clothes, take her. That will get her into Star Wars. It got my wife into Star Wars, and she was able to now have seen all the movies, but she had never seen a Star Wars movie in her life. As a 20-something-year-old immigrant to America, it's understandable, but still not forgivable. And I wasn't about to get married to someone who hadn't seen Star Wars. So, not that I probably still, yes, I would have still probably, no. She was kind enough to go see that. She found that. We went to that. And from there, she was in. But the costumes in episode 2 are exceptional. So that is the only redeeming quality I could find now of episode 2. I'll let that go. Hold on, you can't rhyme line with line, I say in there. This is before Every Day I'm Hustling. I still, when Rick Ross says, I know Noriega, the real Noriega, I argue with so many people, like, how is this a bar? I get the beat is dope. I get the hook is dope. But this guy, what is he talking about? You know, this is also before he had established his whole vibe. Like, he established a whole universe around, like, the MMG verse. Brilliant. Now I get it. I get it. But originally I was like, y'all letting him get away with some weak bars. But it's an aesthetic. It's a, you know, and I don't like to openly criticize other rappers. Do your thing. My favorite Rick Ross song is not a Rick Ross song. It's Rick Ross at a Wingstop by JB.
Making money ain't optional. Trying to keep money is an obstacle. Used to think making millions was impossible. A lot of niggas got millions and they flossing them. Want me to think they banking from getting shows. Most these niggas probably pimping hoes or selling dope. Living out here broke and make you sell your soul. The devil got a scroll and he taking roll. Seen jail once, I'm dodging street cops. My homie got knocked for his weed spot. Never seen Rick Ross inside a Wingstop. If I did, I'm probably rapping in that Wingstop. We say praise God, thank God, God bless. Goddamn, who gon' say they God next? God body in the flesh, so we got less. 300 AD, ain't no gods left. I still think peace can move a whole mountain.
One of my favorite JB songs, just one of my favorite rap songs, and definitely indie rap songs. Yeah, the third verse, I mentioned Slauson, the Slauson swap meet.
When that check comes, I hit the swap meet and I buy some new Jordans. I'm often at Slauson, tricking off my chips on bootleg movies and brand new kicks. I'm scandalous, but I just can't help it. Call me what you want, just don't call me selfish. Always think of others' moms and my little brother. It's the thought that counts, so I keep them in mind. As long as they stay out of my pockets, that's fine. Ask for my girl, shit, what can I say? Bought her a rice cooker and some lingerie. I know it's for my benefit, but that's how it is when you big time spend it. Let me buy that shit. Put it in the bag soon as I eye that shit. My pocket's so broke about the crying shit. But do you think I care?
Still believe I was one of the first backpack rappers, or whatever you want to call me, to mention Slauson Swap Meet and the platinum food. Like, Slauson Swap Meet, as I became an adult with my own money, became a huge part of my life. And my own type of transportation, like pulling up, getting my Cadillac washed while I go in and detail, while I go in and shop for shit to go out on for a night on the town or to take back to Tucson, like going on tour, just buying all the underwear and shirts, socks I need, and man, buying music before it drops, bootleg movies, like at the beginning of Players Ball, L Dogs, Nothing But Them Lax, A Black Man's Heaven, like this, until I got to the Body Tap in Atlanta, Georgia, where they had fire hot wings, bootleg movies, bootleg porn DVDs, a barbershop, and a PlayStation, loud rap music, naked women at a pool table, and Hennessy, all in the same spot, and you can smoke cigarettes inside. That was then I understood the Outcast and L Dogs, so nothing but them lax.
Scene was so thick. Low riders, 77 Sevilles, L Dogs, nothing but them lax. All the players, all the hustlers. I'm talking about a black man heaven here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's beginning to look a lot like wood. Follow my every step. Take notes on how I crept. I was about to go in depth.
Like that shit. At that time in my life, there was not a. When I got to Atlanta, I would go to try to skip sound check or go to sound check, go there, go to sound check, come back there, then go back to the show, then go back there. Like that's where I wanted to live as much as my sinful body could. God forgive me. Name your son Jesus, amen. Woo! Buying my girlfriend a rice cooker and some lingerie. It's back before I understood giving gifts to people that were. I did understand it, but I still that was a literal thing. But not buying my like when I first got it, when I had money enough to buy Jordans, I bought the Jordan 13s, and they were the first blue Jordans, so the first Jordans I would want to buy. I bought my brother a pair and me a pair. That was the first time I had real rap money to buy something frivolous from Nike Town on Wilshire. Before there was like huge lines for everything. There was a little lines for Jordans when they dropped, but I was able to get two pair as soon as the doors open, not a super long line, pay cash, gifted my brother Jordans. We're a single mother. We're not getting a lot of Jordans in that house. My brother did get Jordans a couple of times, my grandmother, and also I was wearing thrift store shit. I was like, those are the first pair of nice shoes. Like I don't know how I got the Timberlands. Well, maybe that was around the same time, but I don't know. I wasn't having rap money in the 90s. I don't know how I got that. Maybe I was up in my weed hustle. But when the Jordan 13s dropped, those were the first ones. I was like, okay. And then I was able to buy my mom a big screen TV. Always able to like spoil my brothers with Jordans every Christmas thereafter for many years till I started to have kids. Like I was able to do things like that. So that was stretching, and definitely calling L for more money never happened. Just going out on a limb. I don't think I owed my mom any money because I wouldn't do that to her. But big time spenders definitely comes from her, because she that's why I put that part of the song that my mom would kill me. Oh my gosh. If there's a frugal person, my grandfather, my mother, easy money is what my mother likes to call me. And then oh my gosh, the last of the big time spenders. It could be used as an insult. Like, black people say, oh, you better than me. And they don't mean that you're actually better than them. Like last of the big, like if you do something cheap, like when people would not have, good wine. Oh my gosh, Riuniti, the last of the big time spenders. Riuniti is the cheap wine guys from the 80s. Wonders never cease. The last of the big time spenders. Or if I would buy something, it's like, oh, okay, big time spender. Look at you. Uh-huh. Don't come asking me for no money now that you got that whatever you got. All them records you bring in the house. Look at this big time spender. That was my mom. Definitely coming through. My grandfather as well, like very frugal. Your dollars are your only friends or your best friend. Sometimes, depending on the day you catch my grandfather, dollars are only friend or your best friend. And anytime, he doesn't care how many records I sell. He cares about how much money I make. I could get a Grammy. How much is it? I bet you how much is the Grammy worth? Or how many records did you sell? How much money did you make off of each record? He would get into the business with me. Well, if you buy the CDs for this much, what'd you go? Yeah. Money is very important. That's another reason this song was freeing, liberating. I don't have the same relationship per se with money as my family, but because of them, I'm a better businessman in some aspects than a lot of my contemporaries. That is BTS. Almost a whole episode on BTS. See, we could just go on like this forever. I forgot to mention about BTS, Beat by Sunspot Jones. He gave me a beat tape. I asked for some beats. I might have just went to his apartment I don't know if I was allowed in after I shit on his floor. I think this is like, it's died down a bit. It's been a couple years. Listen to beats. I picked this one, and BTS is a song that I never intended on writing. I heard that I'm a beat by that shit. It just came to me instantly. There's certain songs, Colossus, Hustle, where the hook just comes to me. Like I'm finally at the point where music is, I'm listening to the beat before I come up with the concept. I didn't write a rhyme and try to find a beat for it. I'm letting the music speak to me, which leads perfectly into 18 with the Bullet remix.
See, my life is like a song, I just don't know the words. So as I try to hum along, people say that I'm disturbed. Stare and call me a loon, say I'm singing out of tune. But my music's got direction, so I know what I'm doing. Don't know where I'm going, but I gotta keep moving. Even if my next step is obscured by the present, gotta find the next rung on the stairway to heaven. Walking as an MC, or do I dare say a reverend? Spreading love through this music is the gospel of a legend. All I ask is the open ear and mind of my brethren. For the purpose of the sessions, make the troubles fade away. Lay back and relax and let this music make your day. It takes about as much effort as it took to make this place, so go ahead and close your eyes. Let your mind fade to gray. There's even rhythm to your dreams, so you can't run away. There's a song in every heart, so please believe me when I say you go.
This beat is by Ant. And when I heard it, I wanted to do something melodic to the dun-dun-dun-dun. Let the music dictate the hook, just like I did on BTS. I was getting to that point where I was hearing the music. Like, I work hard. That like that made that hook in my head. I didn't come in with the concept. Letting the music speak to you. I'm doing something with my a family friend and life coach, and she was telling me that like when I hear you rap, like I feel like you're compelled, like yeah, and it's a compulsion. If you let, like, the music will compel you, and sometimes it leads me the wrong way. I will not lie to you. People are like, why did you make that? Like, that's what the music said. I just feel like if you close that door, I may have said this here before, but if you close that door, it blocks the process. The muse doesn't visit. Like, you got to always let it through. You know what I mean? Let it flow through. And sometimes it's going to be some bullshit, but if you close it, you can never tell when because it's all going to feel great coming through you because you're divinely inspired. So it feels great, but you don't know if it's the one. You know what I mean? It's like any type of creation. Like, when you're having sex, if you're doing it right, it feels great every time, but not every time are you going to make a baby. With me, that's almost every time with my wife, but not every time is going to be a hit. But you don't not have sex with your partner because you're not going to get to that one magical time. Or even if you don't have a kid, you're not going to get to that orgasm if you don't keep practicing. And you're just, every time one of you or your partner is excited, you're like, not today. That's discouraging. And you don't want to discourage the muse like that, or the energy, however you see it. You want to let it flow through. So you're going to have some bad sex, or some sex that doesn't result in the creation of a child, or, a beautiful life. So this is, I think BTS, it didn't become a hit song, but it is exactly what I wanted. And now I listened to it 20 years ago and I love that I did it. This song could have been delivered a little better, but people really like it. And I made it for people. This is a song that I'm talking to people, and it's an uplifting song. So when people say, I know people probably say this to other rappers, mainstream rappers, like, oh, your music changed my life. But I feel like, what about rapping about his Bentley changed your life? Or what about him selling crack and him getting head from his best friend's girlfriend or whatever? What about you getting head in the club, or Shake It Fast, Watch Yourself changed your life?
Shake your ass, watch yourself. Shake your ass, show me what you're working with. Shake your ass, watch yourself. Shake your ass.
But I feel like when people say it to me, or to Atmosphere, or to Grouch, or to Eli, or to Sage Francis, or to Jack from Psycho Realm, like, they really mean it. Because we're making music that really touches people, that you can listen to and learn or hear or feel something. So the people who've come up to me and said that song means something to them is everything. Why is the name 18 with the Bullet a remix? There's a song called 18 with the Bullet. They played on the Art LeBeau show. When I was living in Tucson, rode around with the homie Saul, like, we would listen to Art LeBeau, and I found so many great songs. And I think it's on East Side Stories. I don't want to be, too on the nose, but I think it's volume 18.
I'm 18 with a bullet. finger on the trigger. Gonna put it. Yes, I am. Be my A-side, baby. Be beside me. Right now, I'm a single. But pretty soon you'll see we'll have a hit first time.
18 with the Bullet is a song, beautiful, beautiful. I love songs with falsetto. The whole song is a metaphor for like, be my A-side, baby. Be B-side me. That's just a double entendre right there. Be my A-side, be B-side me. Be my B-side, but also be beside me. Whew. Right now, we're single, but pretty soon you'll see we'll have a hit. First time, as I was talking about creation, it won't be long, you'll find we're raising a whole LP. Come on, bro. What? Like the metaphor, like I had never really experienced like oldies with lyrics like that. Like I thought it was like, oh, everybody's singing, crying about the girlfriend, blah, blah. You listen to Art LeBeau because the music, it sounds good while you're smoking a cigarette or drinking and eating good and you're with your family and you're with your old lady, it feels good. And then you listen to laugh at the shout outs because they're hilarious. And it's not hilarious that people are writing to their loved ones locked up, but sometimes it does get funny, like, you know, the names and Shy Girl and Whisper and, you know, like, oh, I'm going to stay down for you. And but having a white older, like a 70-year-old white man read it and then give it a kiss at the end, bro, God bless Art LeBeau, man. It was entertainment on so many levels, but all to me so heartfelt and communal. Like it helped. That's one of those things when I moved to Tucson, helped me feel like LA. So yeah, I wanted to do this 18 with the Bullet. So when I heard the music and this came to me, and then this first time I wrote a hook for someone else, I wrote a hook for someone I respected, and I love and respect Sunspot for agreeing to sing a hook he didn't write. And I got better at it, but I was trying to write a song because I loved his voice, and he did the best melodic, na 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 na, you know, like. Like that's why I was like, oh man, this has that vibe. Let me write something for him. So I wrote it. He came to the studio, laid the beat for BTS, and did this off his Akai S950, whatever that. I've seen him make so many, to me, hits. So much important music to me has been made with that machine. So for him to use that machine to make something on my album was amazing. Coming to Ariel's backyard studio was amazing for me because it was a studio that wasn't in someone's bedroom. Ariel's to this day still, he's one of the greatest producer engineers in the world. No shit. Check his Google, do your Googles. But this is him 20 years ago becoming who he is now. And even at that point, I was privileged, amazed that Def Jux could take care of this. I could pay my friend who's really good at, nothing's better when your friends are really good at something and you could pay them, not what they're worth, but pay them something for their time. It's not just a pure favor. That feels great. And then having Sunspot, someone who is so, I revere and respect and love so much, to come to this type of studio, because I used to go to Matt Kelly's studio at Hyde Street, and I was honored to be in a Sunspot session in a real studio. So to have him come to a studio where I'm footing the bill and where my friend is a great engineer and he's engineering our session and recording him, and he's saying a hook that I wrote over an ant beat, man, these are the moments. These are the memories. These are worth more than any amount of streams or royalty statements I get from these songs. This is what makes a song magic. Ant was kind enough to give me a beat. Like, I don't, like Sunspot gave me a beat. The only beat I paid for on here was The Night Before. Shock G gave me a beat. LP gave me a beat. RJ gave me a beat. These are still like who's who of people on my top producer list. And I should think it should be on anyone's. Sunspot may be slept on, but don't you fucking dare. Depths of Survival, like the shit's not streaming that are some of his classics, but trust me, fucking trust me. Even when you go to a show, when Angels with Dirty Faces comes on.
What? How's it go? We are there, rock it, the world goes on without. If you know it, say it. We are there, rock it, the world goes on. What's my name?
I don't care how many new songs there are that people do. And that's why I said Living Legends should just keep the production house. Because when Simple Man comes on, like the songs that hit are all the songs that we made. The beats that hit, that people love, are the ones that we made, man. We have so many great producers in our crew, man.
It's the drum shop in this motherfucker. It's DJ Drum Shop in this motherfucker. Tell us something, bro. I'm just a simple man. Say what? I like pretty things. I'm a simple man, really. I'm just a simple man. Yeah. I like funny things. Check it out. I like my hi-hats on A.
Not to say that The Return isn't dope. If you haven't listened to The Return, go listen to The Return by Living Legends.
Static Selector.
Hey. Busted nuts, I'm out of chi. Yo, I have to reload, re-up, re-put, return, re-sow. I know how to bring it back. I know how her cycle flow. Kill it till I wheel it up. Control it like this microphone.
Yeah, man. That was an honor to have him come in and do the hook. Humble enough to do a hook I wrote for him. Still sounds like I wrote it, like I wasn't good. It wasn't seamless. I knew that I did it recently for Cocaine Smoothie on the Murs vs. Miami, or Murs in Miami EP.
I don't need a chemical blow. All I need is a chemical bank. Bitch, you better fill in the blank. Small fuckers think it is, but it ain't. I don't need a chemical blow. All I need is a chemical bank. Bitch, you better fill in the blank. Small fuckers think it is, but it ain't.
One of the homies that's really close to Mayday, like the ultimate Mayday fan, was like, I just love the way Bernie, did the hook. He just, what he wrote is so perfect for the beat. And I was like, I wrote that. I wrote it for Bernie. And that was the talent. Like, that's what I've been trying to hone, that talent. And as I no longer record raps myself, I may write for other people, but only if I could do it right. And I don't know. I'm not pushing that direction now, but that's a way I can see myself contributing to the culture still as far as live recording or recordings. But knowing that, but Bernie is also a good enough rapper, Burns from Mayday, where he took it and he did it and he put his own spin on it. But when I did it, I wrote it for him and I just laid the reference and knew that he would take my words and do it his way and make it even better. This is the first time I've ever done it on 18 with the Bullet remix. Is the first time I ever did it on wax. I still believe that this is before Felt 2, but I could be wrong. Felt 2 might be out. And this is where I think Felt 2 is before Felt 2. Then Felt 2 drops and I'm able to rap over a lot of ant beats. And then Felt 4, a lot of ant beats. Makes very happy, man, about that.
Looking at my Knicks and it's about that time to go and save the world from the daily grind. Speaking of which, I gotta hit the OC for a quick sesh with my skate park OGs. Oh please, this is still mid-city. Wanna check my street cred? Go ahead, come get me on the block like mopeds or the threads in your dickies and I flow cold red off the head.
Brotherly Love, which was the B-side to Risky Business.
It's dedicated to all my little brothers, little homies. So check it out.
Man, you 21 now and I still can't believe it. Been living on your own, just hard to conceive that you on the right track out pursuing that knowledge. But a few years back, I couldn't see you in college. You was all out gripping, brought a gun in the house. My first thought was to take it, give you one to the mouth. But never that, we've been through way too much. I always tried to give you guidance, but not say too much. Tried to lead by example, didn't I have some nerve? Telling you stay out the street while I was out slanging herb. But I always preferred you do it smarter than me. You didn't have to prove nothing, being harder than me. You helped mom at the cleaner, stayed away from misdemeanors. I was proud of you then, please believe I still am. Don't let the world get you down, throw you off your program. Life is hard, even harder on a young black man. If it gets rough, blow a blunt and pump some old slow jams. Know every man with the badges, probably a punk, but don't ever risk your freedom just to throw one punch. Let a coward be a coward, he has to deal with this past. I know these pigs deserve it, but give them a pass. I know you wanna keep it gangster, just do it with class. Above all, remember this, no matter how big you get, I'm still your big brother and I could always look your ass. They say a wise man knows nothing, so I know a lot less, but I've been
I believe L called this one. Once again, speaking louder is the fact that Jesse Shacken, who's working on my last album with me, did God's Work, did this one on both singles. He represented. His songs were chosen not just by me but by L. God's Work was I think it was a double A side for God's Work and Def Cover, and it was definitely the B side to Risky Business because we shot the video for Risky Business. But out of 18 songs, his 2 songs, both the songs he produced on this album, were the ones chosen to be on wax, which I started DJing with him, recorded some of my first songs that we've been making music together, creating together since we were 15. That's why he's doing the last record for multiple reasons. But he's the reason I know Ariel. Making a song about I got the beat from him and, I let the music speak, but he also knows my brother and has been to my house and, knows kind of our relationship and struggle. So him doing that was special. Yeah, my brother is my number one fan. I hesitate to call him my best friend because he's my brother. Yeah, it was, we were like a whole like the things I did, he didn't do. Like, he went to school more than me, but school was easier for me. I was the one that was really into reading and shit. He was the one that actually went to school, got himself checked out of a bad situation to go to a better school. I was staying at the school I was because I wanted to ditch and sell weed and do all those things. But then he was smoking and drinking, blah, blah. I wasn't really drinking and smoking. I was just selling weed. But I've seen him grow and escape a lot. Both of his best friends are no longer with us growing up, all related to illegal activity and shit. Not all related to, I won't say that. Sorry. I forgot. Yeah. He's just very strong, blessed young man. Old man now. We're old. And I'm glad we made it to this point. But yeah, this is like him getting into college. Like, it was bad for my brother. I had to move back from the Bay. One of the main reasons I moved back from the Bay to LA was to live with him and make sure he got out of senior year of high school. And then I literally drove him to Prairie View A&M and dropped him off, him in his car, and flew back. That's when we saw Bad Boys. I think it was around that time in Texas. He's the one that got me into lean and Houston, screw music, all that. Man, hold up, RP Cola. I got too much lean in my cup. Man, hold up.
Hey, hold up. I got too much lean in my cup. Hey, hold up. I got too much lean in my cup. Hey, hold up. I got too much lean in my cup.
Big Mo, Youngster. Though Young Player is still one of the best albums in hip-hop history, I don't care what anybody says. Man, he got me into all that because, of course, he was, out there. Outside, as the children say. Even when he left LA, he was still outside. If you haven't seen the Ninja Turtles movie, see the Ninja Turtles movie. There's a little interaction where there's lots of hip hop and like hood gems in there, Easter eggs. But oh man, when Turtles like first have their first like successful run against the gangs in New York, and they're like, I feel like a gangster. I want to go into the bodega and be like, let me get a bacon, egg, and cheese. Yo, let me get with the Bev. Let me get the bacon. And they start going, yeah, we outside.
Hey, I'm a gangster. I got my puff and my Timbs. I need my bacon, egg, and cheese, too. You got the good super fly?
Bacon, egg, and cheese. Bacon, egg, and cheese. Let me get a bacon, egg, and cheese.
Bacon, egg, and cheese.
Yo, let me get that bacon.
With the Bev? With the Bev, you heard? We outside.
You heard? Yurt.
It was so now and so annoyingly teenager. It was, but yeah, my brother was outside. when he was living in LA, he was outside. Newport's weed, cuz this, cuz that. The whole shebang. But still half of him, like we were raised right. So like he's still trying to go to school and get it done. But the other half is just like almost unavoidable. Like I was in the streets in another way, like in a creative way, but I was definitely sleeping on couches out to the wee hours of the morning, involved in illegal activity. There is no way you live in the inner city and you're a black man without a father in your house. And sometimes even with a father in your house that you're not, or just with the parents that work full time. There's no way that you're not, the hood will not take you under in some way. I am not better than, I am just, I'm blessed. I don't like to say, look, I am blessed to still be here with as few arrests and as much breath in my lungs as I have. It is not easy, but for the grace of God, me and him are here. So that verse was just a testament to that. And I worry, still to this day about him, just the temperament we have, but he has the size. So if I start flipping out, they're like, oh, the little guy is crazy. If he flips out, somebody wants to shoot him. That's his cross to bear. And, we live in inner city Los Angeles still. There's 50-year-old men still getting shot and killed in these streets, unfortunately, over bullshit. Which kind of leads to the second verse. Like little homies, I would just pick up, like, what you doing, cuz? Come on, like, let's go. I need a ride here. Take me down here to get a t-shirt, cuz. Take me to blah, 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 blah. All right. And I'm like, my nigga, like, what is he looking like? Why you got, do-rag and blah, 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 and the shirt jacket half on, half off, and like sitting late. They got to get in my car and like lean the seat all the way back, And I had an altercation with one rapper and they caught him slipping. They gave him they punked him and gave him like, these are people that love me. Like I didn't ask them to. They just, and these are the little homies. Like I wasn't even talking to them. I was telling their older brother, like, man, this happened. This nigga roll up on me at blah, blah, blah. Said, blah, almost blah, 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 blah. Man, what? Like what? What he did? What? Man. And the little homies heard him. So like a couple weeks later, the little homies like, hey, we seen blah, 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 right? And he like took off, like ran the red light when we pulled up on him at the light. I was like, you didn't say my name. Nah. I was like, man, just leave him alone, man. That's what I let him live because I know he's not with the bullshit. He just likes to run his mouth. But so these are the type, like they are down, they love me. So I'm gonna take them places and I'm gonna try to like speak truth into them. And as I got older, I'm like, man, also like me having you in my passenger seat, that's a whole nother problem because you are active and you are sitting next to me. I'm trying to take you to get some strawberry quick. And it might be the end. It might be a wrap for me because they're going to light up your side of the car and I'm. So it's just trying to speak life and truth into that generation broadly, but really specifically. I'm making songs for people I know because hopefully they'll pick up my album because they know me. Otherwise, they wouldn't listen to this type of shit. But also like relevant, conscious rap is almost dead. You know what I mean? Like we're talking about like Common, like he's on some electric circus shit. Like kids who need to hear that ain't hearing that. Like I still ain't heard the Black Star album to this day. Like they wasn't checking for that. One of these kids I was mentoring since Jesse did the beat. I don't believe we talked about this on the podcast, but I took one of them. I think I told it on the Dad Bod Rap Pop podcast. But I took some kids from my neighborhood, another like younger than this generation. I'm talking about the next generation of kids. I came back to the block and they were hanging out, and I was like, "Look, all y'all get together." I hooked them up with Jesse Shack, and thank God he was kind enough to let them record at his house. I didn't realize what knuckleheads they were. The songs they played me that they had were like boom bap songs about girls. Like we're trying to be baby Murs. I was like, cool. Man, I got back after a summer being on tour, and these motherfuckers had recorded the trap album of the century over at my Jewish friend Jesse Shatkin's house. And so I took him, I think it was me and D1 took him to Thai food, and I'm like, yo, blah, blah, blah. Like, what do you guys want to do with this record? Like, it's not what I was expecting, blah, blah, blah. And then D1 goes into his, if you know what he's doing right now, he's always been that way. So he's asking the kids, so like, why do you listen to this? What what do you think about this guy? Well, what do you think about Lupe? And one of the little dudes who I later found out had a burner on him at the Thai food restaurant at Eagle Rock and at Jesse Shackus, I was bringing, like, he's like, man, Lupe be talking about too much real shit and don't nobody give a fuck. That's where we were with black men of a higher intellect or deeper thinking black men reaching black youth. So I didn't have any false like hopes that this would make it to those people, but definitely with Risky Business putting that on the B-side, not only was it one of the better songs or better beats, I also felt it was a conscious decision because it's on BET. It kind of, if somebody listens to the single or picks up the, they'll be able to hear this message on the B-side that's directed, aimed straight at my little homies. And if not, at least they would, because they were in the Risky Business video, they're going to hear this song and hopefully it didn't work. Shit got really bad after that. We'll see, as we'll hear on the 316 Murray's Revenge era. Like shit gets like, I sounded like I got out the hood for a summer with a Warped Tour with Sean and a God Loves Ugly tour. I got out of with Atmosphere. What I was getting out of the way of it had life-changing repercussions for me, especially, and everyone there. And I definitely would have been a part of whatever. I don't know, would that landed me in jail? Would have it, landed me with gunshot wounds or worse? I don't know. I know I never have to find out. And I tell Sean Daly, thank you all the time. He didn't know that, A lot of people didn't know that. Like even people in Living Legends would be like, oh, you're just acting like you're from the hood. And then they would come and see. And like, oh. And a couple of them, were like, oh, I thought you was joking. And I think we talked about that. Like, it was like, like the homies roll up. We be at Roscoe's, the homies roll up. I was with my manager one time in the parking lot. Here, pop, 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 pop. And we on Pico at Roscoe's. And I'm like, still talking to him. He's looking at me like, why aren't you running? So he starts running. I start to run with him. I'm like, man, I'm not running. And then the whole little homies come around the corner. And my manager and the other dude we were with took off. And I'm like, I was like, tell this nigga song. And they're like, Murs is good over here. If anything, we shooting at anybody fucking with Murs. Like, but they had just finished getting into it over some, like letting some shit off. So this is the kind of love I have and respect I have amongst the generation coming up under me. And also speaks volumes to the temperature in our neighborhood, which I can look back now and see. And I see that I feel like they're doing it in Inglewood, California now. But now Mid-City is something totally different. It's this West Adams. There's a Michelin Red Star restaurant coming in because they let this situation 20 years ago start to get out of hand and kind of hands-offed it. And people died. People went to jail. Mothers had to, like I said, you're either bailing your kid out or you're paying your rent. You're bailing your kid out. You're moving to Antelope Valley. You're sending people to live in other places. They purposely, as I can see it, disrupted the black community in Mid-City, and now the property values are just rising like nobody's business, and nobody, except for my grandparents who bought in the 60s or 70s, can't afford to stay there. Decimated the black community. And now motherfuckers want to tell me I live in West Adams. Man, if you don't stop with that nonsense, Mid-City, and man. But yeah, this was the beginnings of it. And I was able to dodge it. This was me. The love for that and respect that these young men have for me, I wanted to return in the form of light and hopefully life lessons, but also by being an example. We'll talk about around this time as me and my homeboy coming to an agreement. Even I don't say my big homie, but my homies that were really with the bullshit, but still made music. One of my main homies, I took him to the Bay. And, at this time, I'm still having to keep dubbing and pressing up for real tapes, manufacturing, marketing, supplying for real good music. Murs Rules the World, Varsity Blues. Like, I'm still handling that business while I'm making this album. And so on a run to like sell some merch or put some units in, cause you know, you go to the town, you fuck with the homies, and the drive back is cheaper than a Southwest ticket at the time. And it's fun to drive up and listen to music. So I took one of the homies with me. And he saw when I walked into Amoeba and the respect I got and the check I walked out with. He was like, oh, this is, and we almost died on the way back. And I had to drive over into like, when you're on the 5, you see that dirt. And where one of my homegirls actually, you know, my homies got in an accident, my homegirl passed away. Like that, dangerous. Boom, somebody slammed on the brakes in front of us. We went to the dirt, came back, and he was like, man, you saved my life. But we'll talk more about him later. But we start coming up with a plan to like start recording these little dudes because they're living the life that these motherfuckers are talking about. That's another thing that's so frustrating to me when I meet these rappers. Like I got friends my age, our age, and little homies that are really with this bullshit, bro. And you over here being a whole ass bitch, exploiting their story for profit, but at the same time encouraging and perpetuating this bullshit. Might as well let the little homies get in on it and get them out off the streets because they're making it hot for everybody. If I could get them on a tour, if I could get them into REO studio, like even then, like I'm plugging them with Jesse Shack and kids from my block. Like I'm go out to Eagle Rock, bro. Some of them never been to Highland Park. We weren't allowed to go to Highland Park as black people without getting shot at. But now you can, like, get out to Highland Park, go do some hipster shit. I remember when my homie came home, one of these kids eventually ended up getting locked up. And he came home after so many years and we went to the beauty bar on Cahuenga and he just saw a bunch of white people singing NWA for the first time in his life. He was like, man, like, what the fuck? Like, it was this, the Tyler song Lumberjack is really different.
This card really can't max out. 2, 4, 500 stacks for the hood. Call me lumberjack, cause I wish a nigga would. Little the face, man, I wish a nigga.
It's different. It's really different.
Hey yo, I might slut in Utah. LA's too warm. My nigga.
Getting close to the end. This is goddamn.
Murs, one of a kind, so there's nobody like me. And I guess that's the reason that nobody likes me. Or is it that I don't like anybody else? Can't quite figure it out, so I keep to myself. Too street for the sheltered, underground fan, too intelligent for play on your FM band. So I thought to cross over, but I left them plans. My resolve to do me and do the best I can. And yes, I am aware that most of my fans are white, but I'm loving all scoping and open to what I write. Some might chastise from the side, crack jokes and say I'm not black cause I rap for white folks. Man, please. I hear the hate in your voice when you say it, so I'ma keep making music for whoever wants to play it. If I don't go gold, then my people say I flop, but if I go triple platinum, I'm not hip-hop. So I'm damned if I do and damned if I don't, but I got it in my heart, so I'll be damned if I won't. Make my dreams come true, my team come through. Man, take it how you feel it, on the real, it's on you. I'm damned if I do and damned if I don't, but I got it in my heart, so I'll be damned if I won't. Make my dreams come true, my team come through, man. Take it how you feel it, on the real, it's on you. Man. Motherfuckers always be coming up to me, you know, asking.
I remember where I was when I was listening to this beat on a beat tape. May have been a CD at this point. But I had it. I loved the beat. Like vocal samples in the music as 316 approaches was something I always wanted. My aunt played this beat. I had to have it. He gave it to me. I wanted to do the right thing with it. I wanted to, knock it out the park. I loved the beat so much. And then finally hit me hopping on the train in New York. I could see myself. And the hook came to me. From there, I just started writing and try to play off the so many questions. First verse was about having white fans and like walking that line. So what I'm just telling you is like I'm definitely rooted in LA street culture. But these are my fans, and I appreciate being able to go and rap no matter what they look like. And this is very contrary to what I'm talking about on This Is For, because it starts to weigh on me after a while. The racism exist in our little bubble. But at this point, it's a breath of fresh air. Being in this bubble is new air. I'm in rare air right now. I'm making money. My life's not in danger. Getting out of the environment where the stress, so I'm experiencing PTSD, which is a blessing because I'm not, so I guess, submerged in my trauma and stress. I'm able to experience PTSD, which is a relief compared to what I live with when I'm in my city and in my neighborhood. And being an artist, like, a lot of it is perceived threat, but as I just gave you the stats, like, you know, what do I say? We the last ones left, but life goes on.
How many brothers fell victim to the street? Rest in peace, young nigga. There's a heaven for you. Be alive if I told you that I never thought of that. My niggas, we the last ones left. But life goes on. How many brothers fell victim to the streets? Rest in peace, young nigga. There's a heaven for you. Be alive if I told you that I never thought of that. My niggas, we the last ones left. Life goes on.
How many brothers fell victim to the streets? Like, it's a real thing. But because I don't rap about that, I rap about other things. I have this new thing, but it's a fine line. Like, I could go gold if I rap the other way. And then my homies don't think that I'm doing shit. Or not my homies, my community, and within the black community and being in black America, I'm not shit because I'm not gold or platinum. That's what they're obsessed with. But if I do go gold or platinum and receive the respect of my people, then, you know, my other people, because these are my people too, my fans, my chosen family and my birth family, kind of like my chosen family is going to, or the family that chose me is going to think I sold out. Where does that fit? That started thinking as I was still, you know, meeting rappers and meeting like, oh, okay, you're not really who you say, or you should really be rapping like I rap for sure. You know, that's how I would meet some of these gangster rappers like, oh my God, bro, we could switch places. Then we got to the second verse where it's traveling during this time during the Bush administration post 9/11. I believe this is where it comes from. Just like, oh, French people hating America and just being frustrated. And I don't think I voiced it accurately here, but I was, you know, whatever, young, just feeling it. And there are not many people to bounce this off. There's not many well-traveled Black Americans, especially in this time that I know in my circle. So I'm going places where no one in my family has been really. My uncle has been to Germany, like, you know, but just traveling in ways that a lot of my people who look like me and have my experience are not. And also coming from gang culture, I'm like, I'm American, whether I like it or not. And if I don't like it, I can literally move. A lot of my beef with a lot of leftist people were like, just fucking move. You love Cuba so much, bro. Fucking go. The beauty is when I go to Cuba or Egypt or somewhere, a lot of those people can't afford to leave or not allowed to leave. I haven't been to Cuba yet, but my understanding is that they can't. You can, bro. You could throw it all away and just not come back. Why be here and make posts about it and do absolutely nothing? Or why assume, like, we as Black people are so very sensitive about appropriation. Why do you assume to know so much about a conflict that you are not firsthand witness to? You are just reading. Like, if you were to read what the American media put out during the Civil Rights era or about the Black Panthers and make a decision as a white person or as an Indian person reading about the Black Panthers of America, you wouldn't know the truth. And maybe media's gotten transparent, but maybe it hasn't. Like, social media is manipulated. Like, as I said on the Hook for Brotherly Love, which you didn't talk about, I really like a lot. It's like, you know, like, you just don't know. Like, open up, you know, to being wrong. Open up. I'm not the hook, but the part where it's just like, you know nothing. Like, knowing nothing, knowing that you know nothing, and being willing to learn and listen goes a long way.
Not to say a wise man knows nothing, so I know a lot less. But I've been where you at, homie, put to the test. The answer lies deep within, so open your chest and find God within yourself, and He'll show you the rest. I know the world is against you when you're going through stress, but long as you still breathing, gotta know you've been blessed. The only sin is giving up, there's no need to confess. Find the God within yourself, and He'll show you the rest.
And when you form an opinion, that's great. But when you have such strong convictions and they're not backed by action and it's just armchair activism, it's extremely frustrating. Extremely frustrating. So yeah, during the Bush era, I was like, man, like I'm like only so much I'm about to take, like of anti-American sentiment, bro. Like I always feel as if like when you are France or Spain and like you've had wars within Spain where everyone looks the same, like you have this homogenous people where you all basically are the same and you all can't get along. How the fuck are you judging a country where it really is a salad bowl, melting pot, refugees, openly queer, LGBTQIA plus people, freedom of religion, freedom of press. Like there's so many freedoms, so many guns. Like we're dealing with a high level social science over here. And you're sitting at your cafe judging. There's a lot to figure out. So it just pissed me off when I would travel when motherfuckers would be shitting on America, or I do press and they'd be shitting on America. Like, yeah, fuck George Bush. But also that has nothing to do with me, bro. If you think that I as a black person in America have control, or that these politicians speak for me, no. But what I am in here, I'm in here in the name of hip hop, and I'm willing to hear what you're going through and how we can unify on some common issues and maybe move forward as human beings. But I'm not here for like slander and like finger pointing, because if we pull back the covers on France, like it's not perfect either. It hasn't been for years. You want to talk about your colonization of Africa, the artifacts that are sitting in the Louvre that don't even fucking belong to you, that you're charging people to, come on, bro, let's not play. Women in hijab can't even visit the fucking Louvre. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Under the legislation, women refusing to take the niqab off will be fined nearly $200 and may even be forced to take classes in how to be a good citizen. Even more provocative is a separate offence of inciting to hide the face, in which anyone convicted of making a woman wear the veil could go to prison.
Like, there's so much, we're all fucked up. And that's something I understood I don't think I voiced it very well in the second verse, because it's implicating people and who bombed what and who whatever. I don't even like to get into that conversation anymore, but this is very early in that conversation and I had very strong feelings about, because still having to fly, I'm speaking also from a place of fear. But yeah, but armchair activists or like these conscious rappers who have no real friends in the hood, all your friends are college educated black folks, and this is your movement, or you're not even college educated, you're so hood and pro black, but every time I see you, you're sharing a blunt with a white girl backstage. Like, it's just weird, man, when you wear your politics on your sleeve and you're not actually living with it, seeing motherfuckers, talk about destroying the government and pull out a black card at Starbucks. Yeah, man. Some real fucking weirdos in this world, man. And this was me just trying to speak to that frustration I was feeling. Yeah, for better or worse, like just that's gang culture. Like, for better or worse, I'm American. It's where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? So, we're working on it. I'm working on it. And my thing is like, yeah, do we lead by example, or do we create a figurehead again to be assassinated, or assassinate their character? Now they'll cancel them. But I was just in Egypt, and it's weird going to the JW Marriott, which I believe is American male, and seeing 8 flags out in front: Germany, the European Union, the Egyptian flag, a Korean flag, and no American flag at the American hotel. I didn't see one American flag except for the American school. Motherfuckers aren't fond of us. And if you're not fond of us, but you're living here, become an expat. Because whatever's coming to America is coming to America. It's not going to say, oh, well, they posted favorable things about my country. We're not going to, whenever happens here, if we're attacked, if and when we're ever attacked, it's happening to all of us. So if you have such a problem with the policies and whatever, then leave. I don't know if we're going to be able to change things. I don't know how much control we have over the government, unless we're going to really take to the streets and revolt. And that's a whole nother conversation. A lot of people that are for revolt and things like that haven't seen bodies dropped, haven't seen someone be shot, haven't had to shoot at anybody, there's a lot to consider when talking revolution. But I'm open to all conversations about what can actually be done aside from posting and lip service. I'm so sick of it. I don't care what books you've read. I don't care what news feed you follow. Like, for me, I'm like leading by example. That's how my family got through the civil rights movement, was providing jobs for and services to our community and continuing to do so, even when the community that we now serve doesn't look like us. Serving the community you're in, being of service. How can I be of service? Travel, visit these. I saw one LGBTQIA plus, hope I'm getting it right, group that actually went to Israel or Palestine, to near as Gaza they could get, because everyone say, well, they hate homosexuals, they hate, and so they went and they flew their flag, and they were received with open arms, and they helped, they bandaged, they fed, they helped. How can you help? As a father of four, I do what I can, and I don't need to list out what I do. But also, I've been trying to rap about peace and make peace. And when we start paying dues to Habitat for Humanity, like, I've been trying to give back as much as possible and trying to perfect that and listen to where the needs are of humanity and give there, and still trying to make music that isn't as harmful and is helpful, putting our helpful art into the world. That's all I could ask of you. I don't care if we disagree on anything. What are we doing for the future? What are we doing for the common good? Because as much as you think that you're at odds with someone who has a different political opinion, there is some common ground. I believe that wholeheartedly. And if not, how can you be a service to your side? Propaganda and online social media politics and lip service and books are only so much. As making good music is only so much. What else can we do? How else can you be of service to your cause? Get out and be of service. Agree or disagree, I respect that. That's what the second verse, if I could redo it, I guess I'd say something like that, which is still controversial and I might get some backlash.
Look, I'm not your average rapper talking shit about the government. It's not that I'm loving it, it's where I live. They tried to bomb the place where I wanna raise my kids. I don't know what everybody seems to think this is. It ain't a game, there is no aim, they want America crushed. If you don't like Bush, you still dying with us. Trust I haven't forgotten about the schemes they've been plotting on my people for centuries. I know that eventually we'll be on top. So what they fighting overseas? Hell, they fighting on my block, the black sheep of America's family. We are the flock, getting led to the slaughter. Have to work twice as hard to keep our head above water. And God forbid we start to rise through positive means. They'll send out a whole black operative team. Every time a black leader steps up, he gets trampled. Do I start making speeches or just lead by example? I'm damned if I do it, damned if I don't.
The third verse is talking about coming to like a new financial level, wanting to get paid for shows, seeing how that I'm actually a draw now and still getting shit on when it comes time to break up the pie at the end of the night.
Hey now, sign the death drugs. How much you get for your advance, man?
Off this album right here, I probably won't see royalties for 2 years, but shit, I'm a straight up hustler. Ain't nothing queer in this. Oops, I shouldn't have said that, cause it pisses off my publicist. I don't give a fuck, cause this is one man's view, and with this mic, I'ma show what one man can do. I'm a hustler motherfucker like this world has never seen. Could sell chloroform to a room of evergreens. Toured around the globe with my legendary team, so I shouldn't have to beg to get a G a show. 500 people pay 10 bucks, then where does it go? In the fucking promoter's pocket? That ain't how it's supposed to be. Nobody paid to see him, they paid to see me. I'm not a fool of myself, arrogant MC. I'm only asking for a fifth, a measly 20%. I'm not trying to get over, I'm just trying to pay rent. Right now I wanna thank y'all for letting me vent.
And I'ma catch you next show at the bar getting bent. Know this album was my heart and every word I meant. Presenting it to y'all with the sincerest intent. Thank you.
Just getting into merch, just getting a booking agent. And that's what I wish I had back then as I talked to my booking agent of this. I sent her my, the roughs of the new album, and she never got back to me. And I was like, do you hate it? Like, it's been 2 months. What the fuck? She was like, I would tell you if I hated you. She's like, that's the point of being a friend. I'm your friend. It's been like, we've been working with each other for 15 years at least. And I would tell you. As much as I'd hate to tell you, I would tell you. I was like, whew. Number one. And number two, it's good to have friends like that. I wish I had friends like that when I listened to some of these songs that were like, maybe not so much this song, maybe not that so much. And that's what I needed. I needed honesty and friendship for people. But I don't think anybody else around had the perspective to actually produce this record in that way. But I would have liked that help. But yeah, getting a booking agent kind of solved the problem. I'm talking about third verse, and I didn't get royalties for about 2 years. I was right about that. Talking to one of my friends that used to work at one of the labels I signed to, he was like, to this day, no one has come in and understood the contract the way you did without a lawyer. Even people's lawyers don't understand it. I was very, knock on wood, not to my own horn, but I stated like a business more so than music. So I could read my contracts, and I came back with questions before I signed to whoever. And we'll get into that as we get into Def Jux, Strange Music, Duck Down, Rhyme Sayers, all these things. But so I was right about that. And I was wrong about using queer. And that was a whole nother battle with my publicist, my homophobic slurs and everything. She was not for. So I lost my publicist after this record. I also didn't believe that my album should be able to be reviewed. I didn't want reviews. I didn't want to do interviews. I didn't want to do press because I knew my nature. I would want to slap somebody, beat the shit out of them for a bad review. I was raised that if you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all. You say something that offends me, I feel like I have the right to punch you in the face. I didn't come to an understanding that I don't have that right until later in life. But at this point, I'm taking your head off. And then there was a dude who wanted to write a article, I believe it. I'm gonna say his name. Wrote an unfavorable review about People Under the Stairs. And it was unfounded. It was like you didn't even listen to the record to me, the way he was dissing Thess and Double. And these are my homies too. And I'm like, man, I wanted to sock his ass up, but I was like, that's not right. But definitely he can't review my album. So I was like, don't send it to him. Even if he wants to give it a favorable review, I don't value his opinion. I don't want him reviewing my record. I do not want to be interviewed. Like that's all. I was like, I'm taking the high road. Like I want to beat him up for the sake of my homies, but I'm not because that's stupid. But to me, by the same logic, like why would I want this person to review my record? He doesn't have the right to review my music. It's my music. Well, if I send it to him, he has the right to review. I was like, well, don't send it to him. Well, everyone's on my list. Well, fuck your list. And it just got to that point where it got really, really, really staticky. But years later, I wasn't in a place to receive that using homophobic slurs was incorrect, which led me to do Animal Style. Like in my apology for being an idiot for so many years, because she was right about that. I couldn't just make an apology. I couldn't make a song like, yeah, I'm in a video and I kissed a man. To make that like, to me, to show that I am an advocate, to show that I had learned, like, it was something for me I felt I had to do because I had done so much damage with comments like I make on this song and just using that word. And, I never had anything against anyone being gay, but that makes sense. Like, oh, I'm never a racist. I use the N-word, but I'm not. No, but, was I violently homophobic? No. Was I passively homophobic and very ignorant? Yes. Is one better than the other? That's not for me to decide. All it is for me to apologize and try to make amends and corrections. And I've been living in that space, being an advocate in my mentorship, in my, just being a safe space, being a collaborator, a uplifter, whenever I can for that community, because it's the right thing to do. And also I have a lot to me to make up for. Done deal. Last song.
It's a done deal. Let's have a little fun, cause the movement don't stop till the rising sun. It's a done deal. Do it till it's done, cause the movement don't stop till the rising sun. It's a done deal. Let's have a little fun, cause the movement don't stop till the rising sun. I'm talking done deal. Closed case, ain't no time for looking back on the road you take. You gotta claim your spot, nobody hold your place. Ain't no time to bitch about time you chose to waste. You gotta mold your fate, hold your weight. All my people's NY to the gold
Golden Gate. Who know this rap about the greed and the gold is fake? How we all supposed to eat when they want the whole cake? Niggas want all the dough and never learn to bake. So they rise too fast and they burn the plate. But I'm concerned with fate and watch the turns I take. Know the world is affected by the moves you make. So I ain't gotta stop moving just to prove you fake. Just spit these real raps to get this real estate. So I can steal your fan base and steal your date. Won't have a soulmate until I meet my soulmate. It's a done deal. Do it till it's done, cause the movement don't stop.
Ty Mumford is dope. Mum's the word. So dope. This beat is still fucking dope, man. He's a great lawyer now, but he's a legal beagle. He brews beer, but man, his first talent, I'm sure he's a great husband and father, but geez Louise, this beat slaps. Thank you so much, Todd. I believe we recorded this here. Done Deal is a line that Young Mouth said a lot on that Lunatic Music album, Done Deal.
Done Deal.
One of my favorite rappers, song Revelations, that's on the tape cassette version of the Loonies, is one of the best songs ever made, an autobiographical song. I know it by heart.
This is hell, motherfucker. All my life it's like I'm fucking around with the wrong people. Make a movie about my life, it'll be a long sequel. About people living off freebies and brick cheese. That's how that shit beats. Out here you have to grind and get G's. No Bentley flip unless your name is Felix Mitch and listen. Little boys and girls.
But yeah, I wanted to do something with Done Deal. Album is done. My relationship was done. I'm still rapping about that. Still not done rapping with Scared Me Eli. We got a few songs. I stopped writing and recording a while ago, but I did write and record some 3MG songs that exist somewhere. They are busy with Living Legends. No time to finish those up. Eli doesn't have the time. He's the dad. But yeah, whenever they get those out, they get those out. But yeah, we got 3 or 4 songs that haven't come out. But yeah, Done Deal, 3MG. Would have loved to do a whole album and tour. more albums and tour with them. Love that hook. Love that song. I think it's dope. I got to write the hook for a 3MG song. I think it works. I got to pick the beat. I think it works. I'm growing with my ear, with my talents, sharing the spotlight, structuring songs, the end of the beginning. I was ready, whether I knew or not, to make what people view as a classic. I haven't listened to 316 in a long time, so it'll be interesting to go back and put some honest ears on it. But lots of stories, lots of changing. But I can see now, like, yeah, like I had done the thing, especially I think I structured this album as like what was happening, like the newer songs, the better songs are towards the end. I think there are 14 salvageable songs on this album, which makes a solid album to me. I'm obsessed with that. I think the number 14. But yeah, we could have done without the scuffle, could have done without the dance, could have done without Def Cover, could have done without... that's it. I would keep Sore Losers, but we could, kind of not do a Sore Losers. Like, chop those down. It doesn't need to be an 18-song album. And the next album is 10 songs. 9 in the intro, if you ask, depending on who you ask. Love you. Thank you for your time. Have a good one. I'll see y'all soon. Thanks for listening to the Best Rapper in LA podcast. Make sure you subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Make sure you never miss an episode by subscribing on Spotify, Apple, wherever it is. If you like the show, leave a review on Apple Music or Spotify. And to support the podcast directly, go to patreon.com/MURS316, Murs316. See y'all next week. Peace.